Hey y'all.
Hello, we're back again.
Welcome to an unscripted beautiful life. I am Katrina.
We about to start this over again because we are Mr. and Mrs. Beautiful.
Listen, welcome y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna get our intro. At, at one point, we're gonna have this intro down pat because I came in with the surprise face like a deer in headlight.
Oh my gosh. Hold
But
on.
we are back. Hope everybody day was as good as my day was. It was a great day. It was a great day. I'm never gonna say it wasn't a great day. It was a great day. It was just a busy day. Busy day, busy day. But it was cool though.
Okay.
My Tuesdays now are very busy. But it's all right though, because it's about life.
Ooh,
It's about life, y'all. And I hope everybody had a great weekend as well. And I hope their Monday was just as great as their weekend. Because how you start your
this ain't even the
week,
right topic.
we might have to come back in, but I'm gonna continue talking until she tell me not to. But how you start your Monday, I believe in this. I don't know if anybody else do, but how your Monday start is how the rest of your week will go. So let's try to focus on making our Mondays the best day possible, and then I guarantee the rest of the week is going to follow right behind that.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties because when I look at one thing, the topic should be one thing, but then it's up in something else. So we're gonna run with it. Tonight's topic is about you telling your own story. Are you going to allow your circumstances, the negative circumstances, tell your story? Are you going to push past the fear, the doubt, um, the negative self talk and be who God created you to be?
And it's so crazy. Trina just came up with this topic. I was at practice on Tuesdays. I had practice, and it's so funny that she came up with this topic because no matter what the topic was going to be today, I listened to this guy talk about God's creations, right? And I'm gonna start it off with this. Yeah, I had the analogy with the iceberg. Yeah, I remember that how beautiful it is under the surface, right? We are just as beautiful under the surface that we are on surface. But when this guy said this about this, it kind of blew my mind. Right? Have anybody ever? All of us seen trees. Everybody that's in this world has seen a tree before. And the craziest thing that he said was, what we see growing out of the ground is mimicked at the bottom. The root system mimics the bottom. All right, listen to me, y'all. The root system mimics the top of the tree. All right, the tree is growing at the same time through the roots, through the ground that is growing to the sun. Right, but what does the roots have that the tree don't have as it grows higher and higher? Resistance.
Mm.
Resistance, y'all. So God created us for resistance, and we can push past that as well because that's what how God created all his creations. All of his creations. Push past that resistance and it continues to grow. And then they tell us what? That the tree needs light to grow, right? But why do the roots not need light to grow? Because that's how God created it. We are created in the same lights, y'all. We created in the same lights to where anything that we put our mind, our body, our soul, whatever we put our mind to, whatever we put our body to, whatever we put our mind to, it can be accomplished. It can be accomplished. So this right here, y'all, I want to say this is more of a motivational type of speaking, because I'm a youth coach, and I tell people all the time I know nothing about soccer, but I put the work in to make sure that the kids are getting better. We have to do that same thing with ourselves. We have to put the extra work in. I tell my kids, if you want to take this to the next level, you have to put extra work in. If you're just doing this for fun, that's cool. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with doing things for fun. But if you want to take things to that next level, you think that creating a six-figure big business was created sitting on a couch? Nah, they went out there and they made waves. They did things. Just like if we take sports, LeBron James, Messi, Michael Jordan, you name it. They didn't get better by sitting on the couch. They got better by pushing themselves. And they ain't just push themselves, they push the people around them as well to be better as well. Now, everybody don't have that calling to be able to do those things, but try it. Just try it. Try something new. Guarantee you, you'll like it. Sorry, babe, for taking over the first
It's fine.
55,000
Hey,
seconds.
Frida. Hey, beautiful.
But I just had to tell y'all about this tree because,
No, I want to touch on what you
yeah,
talked
go ahead.
about with the resistance because I think a lot of times when we're met with resistance and an obstacle, we are um quick to want to just kind of shut things down, right?
Clam
And,
up.
and clam up and give up and throw our hands up. When if we could just shift our perspective on the resistance that we're encountering to saying, okay, God, what in this opposition that I'm facing? What is it you need me to hear? What is it that you need me to see? What is it that you need me to feel? What is it that you need me to be in this moment? Because every dark moment, there's still something beautiful there,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's still a lesson to be learned. There's still a resources that's come, like whatever it is in the resistance, they're still beautiful. There's still
Yep.
something that adds to our story. So when we are having the trials and the circumstances and the trauma and the things and drama, all of those things that are happening, that doesn't end our story.
Mm-mm.
That just adds a couple pages to the narrative, but we have a choice.
Yeah.
Do we allow that drama, that trauma, the circumstance or whatever to define me and now I'm calling it quits? Or am I going to call on God to say, okay, give me the strength to be able to endure this resistance? And then now your story becomes one of being a conqueror. It now becomes a testimony for somebody
For
else.
somebody else. Yeah, because the things that we go through in life, like our trials and tribulations, a lot of times we want to keep them closed like a closed book. But like Trina said the last time, what are you doing that somebody needs? And
Oh,
if
that
you're
was the
keeping,
homework.
yeah, and if you're keeping that all to yourself, I don't care how bad it is. Somebody needs to hear it. Somebody. Now, you have to be okay with yourself. You have to be okay and in tune with self to be able to talk about some trials, some tribulations, some of the worst things that may have happened to you growing up. You have to be okay with sharing these things. If you're not okay with it yet, then you have to get back and go to that quiet go back to that quiet space or where you need to go to where you can open up your ears, open up your mind, open up your soul to be able to hear. Because just the ripping and running on a day to day is one of the things where you can miss a whole lot just because of lives. You're not going to get away from that. You're going to have to
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, but I was walking with Sabrina and Yolanda last week, and Sabrina said something when we were like, "Life's gonna life, but God is gonna God."
I love it.
And I
I
was
need
just
that as a
like,
shirt too, babe.
"Whoa!" Like, okay, Sabrina, if you watching, you probably still on your live, but this needs to be a T-shirt. Life is life, but God is still God, and because even though we are hit with so much, right? We also know God is much bigger than that. It's like, are we going to allow the mountain to be bigger than us, or are we going to let God be bigger than the mountain?
Shoot, I'd like that second one. God bigger than that mountain. Cause God created that mountain.
And I'm
So
I'm telling, listen, y'all, tonight's topic was like, for me, like where I've been mentally, it's like there's resistance, and I'm understanding that the resistance is happening because of a beautiful encounter.
of course, babe.
And that
Of course.
and that I might feel like I'm being sat down, or that I need to sit down. Initially, when I was thinking about, okay, God, ain't nothing moving, ain't nothing happening, like I just feel like I'm out here out on a limb by myself, right? Like I'm on, what's the TV show, what, like the Survivor series, like I'm out on an island.
Like naked and afraid, but you
Yeah,
by yourself.
listen, I have, I'm there, like I'm the guest star at this moment, but I'm realizing that I might be physically out there by myself, but not spiritually,
Mm-mm.
because it's in the relationship with that I have with him, is in getting quiet and getting still, that now I can hear and I can release and I can say, okay, God, this is what I'm feeling, right? This is the resistance that I'm feeling.
Mhm.
This is the lack of power that I felt, like all of those things, and allow him to come in and kind of like calm. Like he's calming the wave. Like I can feel the tide rising,
What they
right?
say, the calm before the
The calm
storm, right?
before, listen. This is it. It's like mentally I'm in the biggest tide possible, but I also find I can find peace in knowing he's still right there with me.
I'm there
And
too, babe. I just, I'm there more on a physical
you, I
realm,
know, I
and
I know, I know,
so
I know.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't like, and I'm pretty sure every husband and wife, they don't never want their spouse to feel any type of way. But I want to say that I want to try to contain my energy the same, because then I don't want to bring down more. I say pressure, I guess, on you. So I try to just keep my energy up.
And that's what's needed. So that's why it is good. And I feel that it's just that, you know,
And
when you're not here.
so I know she probably don't want me to say this, but she wanted to take a break today because of how she's been feeling. I didn't even answer her.
Y'all,
I kind of
listen,
I
I
kind of
was so
ignored
in
it.
my feelings. You ain't no kind of ignored. You
No,
ignored me. I was so in my feelings, y'all. I went to him one day earlier
it
this
was
week, or
Sunday. It
two of
had
the
to be
last,
Sunday. Or
over the weekend,
yeah,
somewhere over between over the weekend or and Monday. No, it had to be over the weekend. And I
yeah.
was like, babe, I'm going to take a break from the show. Are you okay doing it with somebody else? And it was crickets. Crickets. Y'all, I was so in my feelings because I was like, did he not hear me?
And
Did
it
he not
wasn't.
hear what I said?
And I'm not about to sit here and be like, God told me not to say nothing, but I didn't know what to say. So in the midst, it might have been God. Don't say nothing. She'll be all right. She gonna be all right. Y'all gonna do it. And I honestly didn't even want to take a break while we was gone. It was just that the timing of everything just didn't line up the way it needed to.
So so again, I was in my feelings, but I understand it now.
I'm sorry, babe.
That, listen, you don't have to apologize. I wasn't supposed to quit. I wasn't supposed to, because think about it. And if I'm walking in an assignment, right, being in a beautiful encounter, if I'm the representation of that, means that I still have to push through even with the resistance. I still have to push through even when it doesn't feel like going. Now, listen, that does not mean I can't take a pause, because trust and believe, May 1st get here, I'm taking a pause, because not on certain things, right? I am taking a pause on certain things because I'm understanding that I have to get my mindset together for a beautiful encounter, to make sure that I'm able to receive what I need to be able to receive for the women that are coming.
Yep.
Um, but to know that I am supported is a beautiful thing. because I can be as real and as vulnerable as I need to and say what I need to say. And some hear me, right?
So I'm gonna tell you this: it didn't go in one ear, out the other. It went in that ear and it stayed right up in here. But it wasn't for me to answer right there because I could have been like, I could have easily said, "All right, let's take a break, babe," because it, and then she didn't even really say take a break. She said maybe I need to. She said pause. She didn't even really say take a break. She was like, we might need to take a break because how I'm feeling.
I didn't say we, I said I.
And you
So
did,
you got to
and you
still be
did,
willing to go forth if I'm not. But
but
so
you did say I. You didn't say we.
so can
So
we have an
yes,
agreement? Can we call it a Jigglypuff moment right now? Remember this was
yes.
our instead of not answering, can you just say let me process? Or can we come
Okay,
back to
okay,
this discussion?
okay, okay.
Because literally
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I felt like in that moment, like did he not just really hit like he didn't hear what I said. Like I don't think he understood
I didn't. I didn't.
what I was trying to say. And so if you didn't, then just let's make the agreement that you'll ask more questions or say, can I come back to this? Because I really did get in my feelings.
and 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 okay, yes, babe. I'm 100% with that. But at the same time, when you asked me to do it with somebody else, I felt like I was losing my tag team partner. So
But that's where the
you're right.
communication
You're
gets to
absolutely
come
right.
in.
You're absolutely
Listen,
right.
y'all, we're
You're
working this
absolutely
out
right. On
on
camera.
live.
On camera. No, on camera.
This
Because
is really the unscripted, beautiful life. So welcome to our life, right?
and like you know how I love wrestling, babe. It would have been like for anybody that's out there that know the Legion of Doom. It is like one person not showing up to the match, and you got to fight two people by yourself.
But
And
I
and
was
and
I
now
was calling in reinforcements. So I was gonna bring in you weren't gonna be here by yourself. I was just
now
calling in
now
reinforcements. I
now
was phoning a friend.
now I'm cool with that, but we created this together. You created this, and I jumped on, and it has taken us to another level. Like this has taken our marriage and relationship and everything to another level. Because I'll be sitting here just joking around with my friend now,
So
and my
okay.
wife.
But you also have to be both of us have to be willing to sometimes when there needs to be a not even a detour,
A
but just
or a
like
detox.
not even a detox, but just like a change of script. Sometimes you got to bring something new
Absolutely,
to it. So I
absolutely.
wasn't going to leave you hanging. I was going to bring somebody that I knew would have still been able to match the energy with you and still keep it going and things like that. So, but that's not here or there. But I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
next time
So
our Jigglypuff moment
that was
is
on me.
we'll
Yeah,
just, let's
that
have
was
some
on
more
me.
conversation because I did really feel like I was in my feelings.
And you had all the right to because of, like you said, the feeling that you felt. Um, so like I said, when you say you don't have to apologize, I did. I apologize because I didn't hear you.
No, you
No,
heard
I
me.
heard you.
You
I
just,
didn't listen to you. So that when we had this discussion last time, there's a difference between being heard and then someone you listening to somebody.
I
So
think you were listening. I don't think you heard me. I think the heard is, I don't know, but
whatever it is,
yeah.
we which I got what we saying, but so I that's why I had to stand on and say I apologize because I didn't understand how it was, and now I do. So I just have to stand on it and apologize.
Okay, I
So
receive.
so my bad, babe.
So
You know.
listen, y'all, we telling our own story, right? Like this was a live example of us telling our own story of what it looks like to communicate and have a Jigglypuff moment
All
and be
right.
able to work it out.
I'm gonna touch on that a little bit more.
Okay.
So if we're not doing this beautiful encounter, and Trina would have said, just say that we were doing something totally different, and she was like, I need to take this time off. Oh, I would have got it, babe. And this is no knock to Trina. This is no knock
Yes,
to anybody.
it
It's
is.
not, man. It's not. And I say this because it's been times where I have blown up for the littlest things, and it's times so this is the growth. This is what I want people to understand how this beautiful encounter, how this unscripted, beautiful life has changed how we communicate and operate with each other. Because the other day, just the dishes. I heard her say it. Get out the way. What are you doing? I got this. She was like, "What do you mean? I heard what you said the other day, and get out the way." So we have to be more intentional with our listening, more intentional with hearing and understanding, because we are women and men are two totally different people. They think differently, we act differently. We weren't created the same. If that was the case, we'll just all be males or all be females. So we have to learn to communicate with one another. And I know you could have been married for 30 years, but the way I just getting by for 30 years, or were you just getting by for 5 years? You know, so you just gotta be just a little bit more intentional, because again, a lot of times we might hit you with the wah 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 wah, and that's what you hear, but you're not understanding what it is that's being said. So again, I was understanding what Trina was saying, but I didn't fully understand because it's taking some of that energy away. And if she don't have that energy, it's just like a cell phone. What happens to a cell phone when you get to 10-15%? It go in battery saver mode, right? That's what the body does. That's what the mind does. The mind and the body works in the same. So if you running on 10%, you running on 5%, your body gonna go in battery saver mode, and your mood's gonna change. Things change because it's your body telling you you need to go recharge.
I think the biggest thing with that is like really being in tune to feel that, to know that. Like, it could be a week when you just like something is so off with me and I can't explain it. And sometimes you might just be like, oh, this ain't nothing, or we'll blame it on, oh, it's my cycle coming, right?
Or it's the moon,
Or it's the
or it's
moon.
or it's the
No,
stars
listen,
align. It's a
sometimes it
lot.
is the moon. It's
No,
like all
it's
of those
real.
things. But we try and brush it off and just be like, it is what it is. Like, it's another day, right? But we really need to truly be in tune with who we are, spiritually, mentally, physically, so that we can understand, like, when you do have that uh feeling, then it's time to sit and get still and get quiet, to be able to quiet the noise that's going on.
That's your recharge.
That's the recharge. Like, we all have to have that. Introverts, extroverts, what
You
empaths, all
have
of
to
that. Like,
have that
everybody needs to recharge better. You cannot go 100% all the
all the time.
time.
Mm-mm,
It
mm-mm.
just doesn't work. But that's where being in tune with our body, our mindset, right? Our mind, and just being in tune with it, learning to feel the emotion, learning to feel the feeling. Because, right, when we're sad, we always want to rush through that process, through that feeling, but not understanding, like, you're sad for a reason. Process that.
Yep. Figure out why you say.
Right. You're grieving for a reason. Process that. Now, listen, I learned grief is not just because of the loss of someone physically. You could have someone just gone, like
Mm-hmm.
friendship just ended,
Out of nowhere.
and you just like you think it was, there should be good, but there's still a grief process because there's still a loss
Mm-hmm.
that may not necessarily happen physically or spiritually, but there's still a loss. So listen, when you have those feelings, sit with it. but sit with it for understanding, right? Don't sit with it for the purpose of holding on to maybe a limiting belief that you have, right? Some fear, some doubt. Don't sit with that, because when we sit with that, let me say this. I can't give this away. I cannot. Okay, I gotta say without giving out what I'm talking about at the beautiful encounter.
Mm-mm. Don't say it.
When you sit with the limiting belief, I'll say this because most of everyone has gone knows the flaws and all, or have heard me talk about flaws and all. But like, if there's a perceived flaw that you have or a limiting belief that you have to sit and process and go back to, where did I pick up this limiting belief? Where did I
Mm.
pick up?
Where did it all start?
Where did it all start from? Because I can guarantee you, most of
Because you
the
weren't born
limiting
with it.
beliefs that we have
Yeah.
um, came from someone
An
said
outside source.
something, an outside source. Somebody said something, you never amount to this, you'll never amount to that. And we carried it with us.
Yep. Yep.
And go back to figuring out, like, when you think about that limiting belief, the question you have to always ask yourself, is this true? Right?
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
true? When you really sit down and say it's true. Now, don't say it's true because someone said it's true, right? But say, is it true because that's who God created you to be true?
Hmm.
And if the answer is no, that is not truth, here's what God's truth is, then you have to reframe that limiting belief and understand, this is who God created me to be. So the next time I come through and say, God, I can't do this conference. I can't carry this conference out. He's going to be like, yes, you can, because he's going to give me the tools. Like, I could say all day long, I've never done a conference before. I've done birthday parties. I've done little house brunches here at the house for the family. I've done all that, but nothing where I got to sell tickets.
Hmm. Me neither.
Nothing I got to do
Not
registration.
for myself, I should say
That
that.
was, 6 months ago. That was a limiting belief I had.
Hmm.
But as of March 23rd, we're more than halfway through with tickets sold. So it wasn't a limiting belief for me. It was some doubt, some fear, but it didn't limit me in terms of, I'm not going to move forward with the assignment, because I understand if God told me to do this, then he's going to equip me
Hmm.
for the journey.
And that's one thing that I think a lot of people lose, babe, is the fact that we forget that God has already equipped us with everything we need. But like you said, it's a lot of people growing up and still to this day that have that doubt in you. Oh, you can't do that. They might not tell you that as an adult now, but trust and believe me, it's in the back of some people's mind. Oh, she gonna fail when she do that. He not gonna be good. I had that limited belief with myself with coaching, because of the style of coaching that I was brought up in. And my right hand, left hand to my side right here, she said, Andre, you're already a coach every day. When I was a teacher, I was a coach. When I was working in Parks and Rec, I was a coach. She was like, you're already been a coach. I seen how you are when it comes to you being a teacher in the school. You're a motivator. You're a nurturer. You do all these things. You uplift the kids. And I had a moment in my coaching to where I never, once I started it, I was like, oh no, I can do this. This is it. And we've been great ever since. My kids have been dope. My parents have been amazing. They support me because they see that I push their kids in a matter of making them better without tearing them down. But I also believe is that we have to tear them down to build them back up, because that's how create strong individuals. They're gonna go through the life of a lot of things. we have to tear them down to build them back up. And the only reason why I say that is because if they get it from home, then the outside can't tear them down. They cannot be tore down outside of the house because they know what it looks like inside of the house to build you back up. Like I tell Nick, I don't, when I say tear them down, I don't mean talk down about them. I mean, if they do something wrong, fix it. Don't just let them continue doing things wrong. Because as we each one teach one, if you're seeing a kid do something wrong and you just allow him to continue to do wrong, are you helping him grow? Are you helping her grow?
So I think when you say tam down,
I didn't mean it
you mean
in
more or less correct them.
yes,
But in
yes.
some situations, you do have to turn them down because you could have a kid out there on the field,
And not even just a field, just in life
just
in
in life,
general.
that's saying that they can't do something, and you have to tear down that limited mindset.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so
There
in
you go.
essence, like, so
There
it
you
is
go.
a
So
matter
you
of
can
tearing them
tear it
down
down.
because kids pick up on all kind of stuff. We could be as parents thinking that we're doing this awesome job, but somewhere we might have said something thinking it was, not even supporting. We might have said something completely wrong and off the wall, and they held on to it.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
limiting belief, going back to where they picked it up from, now it's going with them from day to day.
Yeah. Because and I was saying this when I was telling you, I said the coaching style that I grew up in, it was a lot of tear down.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, depending on that kid, didn't understand that that tear down was beneficial. But the time has changed so much that your tear down has to be a little softer at the approach. So I had a kid that I felt as though I wasn't tearing him down. He wasn't used to playing the style of soccer that we played because he was in a younger age group. So I had him in a position where he only stayed in one side of the field. And I seen that in like just looking at him, he looked like he wasn't having as much fun as it was when he first started. So I go to the kid, talk to him. I'm like, look, it look like you're not having a lot of fun. And he was like, I'm not, coach. I said, why? What's going on? He was like, I don't like just standing right here. So I moved his position to where he can roam the field, turned it to another bright star. It changed his mentality. So sorry, y'all. I just came from outside. Allergies bother me. So I could have been that one where I'm like, man, you're gonna play a position I want you to play because this is what I know I want you to play. That's what the style of coaching what I would say that I grew up with. And I had to change that because you have to move kids around in everything, not just in sports, not just on in one position. Move them around because you don't know what they're going to be great at. The kid doesn't know what they're going to be great at until you try them at different things. So don't limit them to, oh, you my son can only play sports. No. Whatever you put your son or your daughter into, that's what they're going to try.
But you know what? You're giving a great example for us as adults too.
Talk
Because
to them, baby.
how many times have we said we can't do something, right? Remember going back to last week when we talked about what's the thing that you're sitting on?
Oh, yep, yep.
We've talked ourselves out of that because we think that we can't do it. But you don't know what you can't do until you get in that position to try it. Like
That's
you
it.
don't know what you can't do until you try it. So take the leap, take the jump, and you still get to write your story. Like your story is not over.
Mm-mm.
Like that's what they made. Think about it this way. That's why they made pencils. We can erase,
Hey, look, hold on,
we
babe.
can backspace.
They got erasable pens now,
Right.
so
Like
stop playing.
you can delete, select it all, delete, and then start again. Like your story is not over just because somebody say that you can't do something, or because you fear it, or because you doubt it.
And it's not even over, even if you say you can't do it. But what you got to do is take away that limited belief in yourself. because the first the first thing about it is saying that you can do it. Because now you changing and you switching your perspective. Oh, we freezing up. All
We
right, we
did
back.
freeze.
I just saw you looking over there. I'm like, but she moved her head. Uh, so we first thing you gotta do is take away your self limited, because what we can't do, we can't control somebody else's narrative, what they think about us. But you can control it by doing what they say you can't do. That's how you can control it. You control it by doing what they say you can't do. But the first thing you have to do is tell yourself you can do it.
That's it. That's the key part is telling yourself that you can do it.
I can do this.
When in the book, The Power of I Am, like there is so much that we have control over. There's so much that we have power over in our life, and it really comes down to one choice. It comes down to one at every situation you're facing. It comes down to one choice. Are you gonna do it because you're scared, or are you gonna do it because you're just ready to take the leap? Like it
Take that leap.
everything we and that's the it's like, but in some, my case included, like the fear just at times overpowered me wanting to take the leap. But then you gotta understand is, do I want to stay in the same situation where I'm complaining about the thing of not having what I want? Or am I going to believe? Am I going to visualize? Am I going to see myself walking in the thing that I want? Because if the more attention that you give to something,
Mhm.
the more it's going to stay constant in your life. So if I'm always reflecting on something negative, if I'm always
Mhm.
reflecting on thinking about a negative belief, a limiting belief, that thought is going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
But if I reframe that, if I shift that and say, okay, God, this is the truth that I know. This is who you've created me to be. This is what I'm now going to think about. I've just shifted and created my beautiful life
Mhm.
because now the power, I had the power. It all came down to choice. Am I going to stay here or am I
I'm
going to
gonna
go
go
here?
there. Yep. So,
Hey,
like you
Tiff. Hey,
say,
Rick.
it goes back to having that belief, because trust and believe me, we are all equipped already with all the tools that we need to do anything possible. We're equipped with it, but we lose that. Like you say, people telling you you can't do this, you can't do that, but you can't. That's outside noise. That's outside noise. So remember, you're gonna hear that. You are gonna hear that outside noise is gonna come from everywhere. If you're not hearing it, then you ain't doing something right in your life. All right. So if you are hearing people telling you can't do this, you can't do that, that's hatred.
It's like, think about the power of your choice, the power of just knowing that you can be, and sorry for all the stuff underneath, that you can be whatever it is you want to be. Think about when you were a kid, right? We running around on a playground, we thinking, got the capes on, we jumping off beds, we jumping off monkey bars. Like there was no fear in us when we were children. But somewhere along the way, life happens. We let go of the God is God in part, like Sabrina would say, and we allow somebody's voice to become to become louder than ours, and told us, you can't dream anymore,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
can't believe in creating whatever it is that you want to create. We got to get back to that emotion as the child, back to that inner child, and just understanding like
That imagination.
that imagination. Because if like God is the greatest creator of them all, so if he's a creator, he created us in his image, we're creators. We just got to go back to our
That's it.
imagination.
That's all
Like
it is.
the story you want to tell, the thing that you're sitting on that somebody else needs, that somebody else wants, go back to that. Imagine, dream, visualize, like see you creating it and just do it.
So,
Right. Rick said we don't quit, we finish.
yep,
Exactly.
yep.
Like you
So,
can't, it's just go back to it. Go back to that little child and figure out what's your greatest desire. Think, activate your imagination. Y'all get outside. It was warm today.
ain't warm no
Allow
more.
that sun to hit your skin.
Get that melanin in
Get the
you.
melatonin, like all of that stuff going. Because being outside and in nature, allow God to speak to you. Allow Him to be able to say, whispering, like what's possible, what you have the potential to be, who you are, who He's equipped you to be. Allow Him to minister to your soul
Mm-hmm.
so that you understand that you truly are still writing your story. Your story does not end because of somebody's limited belief of you. Like, do not dim your light for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. So, going back to this tree. Remember, God created trees. If a tree decides I'm done resisting and the roots don't grow, what happens? The tree ain't gonna grow. That tree not gonna grow. So guess what? Get back, get back, y'all. Because we don't have any resistance like the roots of a tree does. But that root continues to grow without sunlight, without, like I would say, without getting water directly to it like the branches do.
But babe,
I'm listening.
you missing something, and it just hit me. Remember when we were looking at cutting the tree down in front?
Yeah.
And what the guy said to us is like they got two ways of cutting the tree down. They can just come and chop it
Mm-hmm.
and leave the stump there.
Yep.
What did he say about the happens with the stump and
They still grow, right?
they still grow? And so it's important to make sure that we have that strong foundation, because even if we cut the tree off and we stop growing, the roots, they continue to grow. And it's like our limiting beliefs are cutting our trees down,
Cutting them, not cutting branches off.
cutting branches off. They doing all of the things. But if we can get rooted and get grounded in who God has created to be, so like our roots are growing, right? They're digging deep. Then nothing that's going to come is going to take us away. It's like the palm trees in Florida. Like they're the strongest trees ever. Strong winds
And
coming.
they be
They
bending. They
bend,
don't never break
but they
though.
do not break. It's the same for us, y'all. As long as we have our foundation rooted in God, rooted in who He's created us to be, we might bend a little bit.
We
We
might
might
lose a limb.
wobble. We might
Look,
lose a
a limb
limb,
here and there. Use a few
but
leaves.
we will not break.
Yeah, love it, man.
We will not break. So
Love it.
listen, just remember that. Like, you're not gonna break. We might get some bumps and bruises, right? You know, somebody might break a leaf. We might break some limb. But
That joint gonna grow back.
as long as we are rooted in who He has called us to be, then we still have a chance in this beautiful game of life. Like that's His point is simple. Hey Robin, hey beautiful.
Man, you took that joint to another level.
Because it just hit
It
me when
hit
he
you.
said about the roots, how they still keep going. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, I forgot about that, but it was so crazy how the guy was saying that the roots mimic. If you have to think of the tree in the fall, because it's hard to see the branches when it's spring and summer because all the leaves on the tree, and under the ground there's no leaves, but the roots mimic the fall tree. And I was sitting there like, that is so crazy. It has a long stem, just like a long stem. Then you got your branches that come out, and the only thing that doesn't have in the ground are leaves. But the dirt to me are your leaves, and your roots are embedded into that. So that faith is strong.
Yeah.
A boulder can come and take it down, but they can take your roots away. You still growing. You still growing. So, man, you just hit that one.
So,
Yeah, we could end on a good note
so,
because yeah, man, you made me think on that
so y'all go back if you missed the recording, or if or if you're catching the replay. Hey y'all, um, this was good. Y'all still have pages in your book. You still have a story to tell. Even if you think your book is filled, grab another book. Like grab some more paper. You still get to write the narrative that you get to tell. It's just it comes down to a choice. Are you going to continue believing in the limiting beliefs of what you can and can't do? Or you going I should say, are you going to believe in the limiting beliefs on what you can't
can do.
do and believe in the belief that God says you are of what you can do? So, y'all got homework. Y'all got homework. But in the meantime, don't forget to get your tickets for A Beautiful Encounter. Go to abeautifulencounter.eventbrite.com. We are more than halfway sold, but spiritually, we are sold out. I'm claiming it. I'm receiving it. I see it. Like it's all of the things. Like it's filled. But go on and get your tickets if you haven't. Listen, Mother's Day is coming up, y'all. This would be a beautiful gift to inspire a mother, a grandmother, a cousin, family friend, whoever,
Sister,
somebody, your sister,
anybody,
whoever needs to be here, or even
mother-in-law.
yourself. Like if you ain't bought your ticket yet, what are you waiting on? Going to get your ticket because it is going to be a beautiful thing. I'm truly excited for what God is doing, just knowing the speakers, knowing how they're pouring into my life daily. I know that they will be a blessing to you. We've got Dr. Vicki Johnson of Soul Wealth. We have Alicia Johnson of 1212. We have Vanessa Burns of the She Is Free Collective. We have Janelle Johnson of Illuminate. I forgot what it is called now. Illuminate. Your girl, forgive me. Sorry.
We're gonna have it on the
Yeah, but
next one.
Miss Illuminate, Miss J Sunshine. So and myself, of course, and then Mr. Beautiful as well. So y'all get in a room because I know it is truly going to be a blessing just because I listen, God is a good God, and it is what it is. So anything else?
If you ain't never been one of them God parties, you better come on. You're gonna get one. Come on, a God party.
A
Yeah,
God
a
party.
God party.
That's what
Let's
we
go.
have it.
Let's go. Let's go. Because I just want to tell y'all, I this gonna probably be. I love talking.
But wait, what's a God
We're
party?
gonna find out June 8th. We're gonna find out June 8th. So if you're
Do
not
y'all
there,
know what a God
if
party is?
you're
Somebody
not
put it
there,
in the chat. Cause I don't
if you're not
she's
there,
so red.
I'm telling y'all, if you're not there, you ain't gonna know what a God party is. So come on out there, let's see what it's about. Cause
A
I'm
God
telling you,
party.
we not God,
Look,
not to
Marlon.
get you, not to get you confused with card party.
But no,
God.
hold on. But we had the pajama party. So listen, Tiffany I already know gonna have her Uno cards together. So listen, we got cards. I got I can't tell that. Listen, y'all just gotta come on and see what we got
I'm
planned.
telling you,
But
man.
it's going to be an amazing thing. And
Yes, it is.
listen. We went to, I gotta share this. I'm gonna post the video. We went to the Bay Sox game with our kids and their school on Saturday. And it was a fireworks display. And y'all, I love
Oh,
fireworks.
babe, don't be telling my secrets, man. They gotta
No,
go.
listen. I love fireworks. So we were there and I had said, God, this would be a beautiful thing to have fireworks at a beautiful encounter. Now we can't do it at this one. However, I do know and believe that a next beautiful encounter at some point will have fireworks. And um I'm sharing this because as I said that we were leaving the game, I got a notification on my phone, like a inspirational thing that popped up. And it was like, your dreams are coming true. And
Yes.
it was just like, okay, like y'all don't understand how much I love fireworks. So to know that at some point, a beautiful encounter, we're gonna have fireworks, however that looks. If we can, like the safest way to do it, I'm trying to do it because it's just fireworks and like the little girl within me gets so excited. Like I think I love more fireworks more than the kids do. Like it just it's just one of them things with me. Like it activates my imagination for whatever reason. So I'm just y'all come on because I know it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, it is.
But get your tickets if you haven't gotten them already. We love y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, you still get to write your story. It's not over. Don't allow the voices of the naysayers to keep you from dreaming, to keep you from believing in what's possible and what the potential is, because it really comes down to one choice. Are you going to believe them or are you going to believe God? So, see y'all next week. Have
Keep
a
them
good one.
roots rooted.
Keep them roots rooted. Y'all have a good evening.